Pisces, hello. Welcome to your full moon reading. We have a full moon in Aries on October 13th. And I am not an astrologer, but the videos I've been watching from some very excellent astrologers seem to indicate that this is going to be a significantly testing time for our relationships. This Aries moon is very fiery, of course, and very brings this energy of impulsiveness, perhaps, very headstrong, a lot of egos clashing. There is a feeling of a lot of change, big dramatic changes coming. There's a possibility of that for all of us in this energy. Significant endings and beginnings. There's a chance that people will be struggling with each other over money, over control, over power, right? The thing about this is that it's a great time for growth, personal growth, and working things out in relationships if you can keep in mind that people will be a little hot-headed, if you can keep in mind that there's no value in fighting change. The wheel turns, things change. If you can go with the flow, if you can find a way to be comfortable with the changes that are coming, you're going to be great, because I'm told that there's a Jupiter trine that will mean something to many of you. I don't know enough about astrology to explain it further, but that Jupiter trine with this full moon means if you can go with the flow, there's a really fantastic possibility of great gifts on the other side of the change. But if you fight the change, you miss out on all those goodies. So we're going to look today, Pisces, at a few questions around this full moon, and we're going to be using the Bad Girl Tarot here. It's created by Katie Skelly. I'll put a link in the notes below in case you want to get yourself a copy of that. And we'll also be pulling one oracle card from here at the end to just give us some general guidance on how to weather this energy that's coming. So the full moon is on October 13th, and we'll be feeling these energies for a couple weeks after that. And what did I forget to say? Oh, this is Crow Indigo Intuitive Tarot. Thank you for being here. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, and Rising placements of Pisces. Okay, so it's general. It's not going to speak to all of you. If it doesn't feel like it's a good fit, don't try to force it, okay? We're going to do 3 cards each for 3 questions. And those questions are, where am I holding too tightly? Where is Pisces holding too tightly to something? Where is my ego overinvested? And third, how can Pisces improve relationships right now? What is in your power? Okay. And we just need one more card. One more card, Spirit, please, for Pisces. One more card. A couple of kings. Just looking for patterns here. There's a fair number of wands. Just one more card, please, Spirit. One more card for Pisces, please. Just one. Okay. All right, so this one turned over, so I'm going to take that one. I'll keep that to the side there just in case. I asked for one, and at the same exact moment, we had one turn over in the deck and one fly out, so I'm going to keep them both. Our first question, where are you holding too tightly? Where are you holding on too tightly? The King of Pentacles comes out first. This is an entrepreneurial energy, a boss, basically somebody good at making money. Could be a person, doesn't have to be a person. It could just be the energy of that. This really abundant, prosperous energy. There's financial security come along with this card as well. The Three of Wands, looking forward, you're making some plans, you're looking ahead, you're looking to expand in some way. You may have had some initial success on a project you're working on that has sort of a longer term. You may have had some first steps have completed on that project and you're feeling pretty good about that. The Nine of Wands is an energy of resilience. So you're fighting the battles, you're really putting in the effort. You're resilient, but you are tired because you have been fighting. You're still standing, you're still there, you're still ready to take on more if you need to, but you're really not sure how much more you can take. So what are we seeing here, Pisces? Where are you holding too tightly? You're perhaps focused too much on directing the path. See, you are making the plan. You're looking forward and you're looking to expand. You're looking for growth. And right now, you've been fighting really hard for a long time. So is this the best time for you to be starting again and pushing yourself farther? You are motivated by this financial security, and that's good. It's important to be financially secure. It allows you to pursue other things in your life, to really not spend every waking moment thinking about money. However, the message from Spirit seems to be that you are trying to direct things too much. Perhaps you're too focused on controlling how things progress. And what you need perhaps to do is to have faith that everything's going to be okay. Things are going to work out well. Things are going to grow for you. You are going to have financial security, and it won't always be this constant battle. There's an energy about this moon that brings dramatic changes, and one of the changes it could bring for you is a financial windfall. You could be in a space where you don't have to think constantly about money, and that would be pretty great, right? But it's not going to happen if you keep trying to decide how it will happen. That's the message I'm getting from Spirit on this, Pisces, is that where you're holding too tightly is to the reins of the how. And someone else had a similar message as well. You need to believe in the outcome when it comes to manifesting and not be so focused on telling the universe how you're going to manifest this end goal. Just accept that it is going to happen, and the universe will help you see how. So this energy of big changes could very much benefit you. Let's look at your second question. Where is your ego overinvested in something? We have the King of Wands here. This is a creative energy. There's a lot of passion involved. There is someone who can see the big picture here as well. Someone who is a good leader. You've done well to overcome a number of challenges, and you're learning how to manifest. Okay, we're talking about manifesting up here. You're learning how to do that pretty well now. There's some anxiety coming in. Something's keeping you up at night. You're nervous about something. And why is that? You're feeling a little hopeless. Perhaps it's some past trauma. There are like shadows of it in your present situation. It's got you off balance. You have a little bit of a sense of foreboding about your future. That does not bode well for this period of time, because this whole full moon energy is about change. And if you're sitting there assuming that things are going to be bad in the future, that's not the right mindset for this energy. To get the most out of this energy, you have to be open and believe and have faith that the future is actually going to be brighter than the past. Excuse me. And as if to support that, we have here the sun, the brightest of all, right? There's a message from Spirit here to try to get yourself out of that way of thinking that is fueled by past experience, by past traumatic events in your life, to set yourself free from that anxiety by believing, Pisces, that there is joy in change. The changes that are coming now will put you in a space of bright sunlight and joy and fulfillment. So how is your ego, where is your ego over invested? You may be focused too much on me, right? Because Aries, the Aries energy is about I am. It's very self-focused, and your ego may be all tied up in the fact that you have a particular past. Excuse me. You may be focusing far too much on the past, is what I'm sensing, and you need to be looking at the present and perhaps an eye toward the future as well, because your future looks fantastic if you can just release yourself from that prison of mindset where you're focusing on past trauma. And I am not a therapist, and there are exceptional therapists out there, and if that's something that would help you, then perhaps you can pursue that. There's also, many different resources online. If you just Google whatever your particular challenge is, what's keeping you up at night, you may find resources to help you. But it does seem like the message is you're identifying yourself too much, who you are. In your head, it's all too tied to who you have been, when you need to be looking at who you're going to be. Let's look at your third question, which is, how can Pisces improve relationships right now? What is in your power? We have the Seven of Pentacles. This is someone who is experiencing some advancement. You're starting to see that your efforts are paying off. You're starting to see some rewards from the work that you're doing. Page of Swords is coming in next, and this is bringing a note of restlessness. You've got the swords all, about the mind. There's a mental energy, a resurgence of intellectual interest in something right now that is it's kind of calling to you, and it's making you a little irritable with people that can't keep up, Pisces. So watch that, because this moon is definitely a relationship testing space in time, and it's really quite even more than usual likely that you're going to have some ego clashes with folks. So if you come into some situation with this energy, this Knight of Swords energy, like almost what's the word, it's almost a condescending, like, how do I describe this? Let me find my words here. You are almost looking down at other people in a relationship because your mind is so sharp right now. That Page of Swords, intellectual strength, is making you irritated that people can't keep up with how fast you think. And you have to accept that not everybody's going to be able to think as fast as you do right now. Okay? So keep that in mind. The star energy is coming in next, and that's this wonderful healing energy. It's this rejuvenation of hope and faith, and really believing that everything's going to work out okay, and that excuse me, my throat's gotten all scratchy, that the future is bright, right? So what is in your power with regard to improving your relationships? It is to temper yourself, right? You're seeing some progress for yourself, and it's making you perhaps a little obnoxious, to be honest. Just watch your ego, I guess, is what's in your control. It's in your control how you communicate with people and what you focus on, where your mind goes, where you let your thoughts go. You could be looking at this initial growth and then starting to second guess yourself. You could be letting this heightened intellectual ability slice and dice very coldly and non-emotionally your hope and your faith in the future. And I think the message from Spirit here is to let yourself feel that hope and faith, to not talk yourself out of feeling good about what you have achieved. And the other card that came out that's not really part of the reading is the 8 of Wands in reverse. And that's telling me that there's also just the slightest hint here, perhaps, of not quite overwhelmed, but sort of wanting to slow yourself down, panicking a little bit at how fast things are changing, feeling like you aren't in control because things are changing so quickly. And that would be normal, because it seems like there are going to be some dramatic changes in the next couple weeks. And so just try to find some space to breathe, right? Get yourself into some water, Pisces. Keep yourself calm. Ride it out, because if you are able to embrace whatever changes come, there are some amazing gifts on the other side of that, okay? Let's take one card as a general rule, a general message from Spirit here with regard to how we best weather this relationship testing full moon. Let me get it out there. It says twists and turns. Carefully made plans could be thrown out the window as major changes and interruptions surround you. Make sure you get lots of rest to cope with all upheaval. Well, that's absolutely on point for what I've been told about the energies that are coming. And it also speaks to here, where you're holding too tightly to your control of how things happen. Major changes are coming. There will be interruptions in the way you do things right now. And that's actually good for you if you can just get out of your anxiety and embrace it. Okay? Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. It is an honor to be able to share these messages from Spirit with you. I really appreciate those of you that have subscribed to the channel. It's wonderful to see the numbers growing, to know that the messages are getting out there and there is value in them for folks. If there is any feedback that you have on this reading, I'd love to see it. There's an email address in the notes, and there's also, I think you can comment on the videos themselves. If you think it would be useful for someone you know who has Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, please feel free to share. And for those of you that have not yet subscribed, I invite you to do so. It would be an honor for me to have you as part of our tribe. So thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic full moon, Pisces, and we'll see you next time. Blessings.